Were you taught to be seen but not heard? Hi, I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. And on this channel, we provide you with information, tips, and strategies on how to become a certified marketable medical coder. If you are new to our channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to look over our videos, and if you find something of value, I would love it if you would click on that subscribe button and be a part of our community. Also, hit the bell so that you can be notified when we upload new content. Now, today I just want to talk about, not necessarily related to the coding, so this is more along the personal development, I guess, if you will, and helping you become marketable in our field. So a couple weeks ago, I attended an event that introduced executive directors of some nonprofit organizations to prospective board members. So it was kind of like speed dating / speed mentoring, where you were introduced to somebody new and it's a little different because we asked them questions, but it wasn't like a one-on-one speed mentoring, speed dating. But it provided an opportunity for people who are interested in board service to learn about the various organizations and to kind of interact and see the vision of the directors, to ask questions and just provide some history on the organization as a whole. So the moderator encouraged the audience to remember to speak up, be seen, and heard. And so I want to talk to you today about that. Were you taught to be seen but not heard? Now, that was part of the makeup. That was what we were taught. For most of us, we only spoke in the presence of adults or those in authority when spoken to. So if they didn't speak to you, you would, say hello if you entered a room and there were people present, but you weren't supposed to interject your opinions. You weren't supposed to ask questions. You weren't supposed to be involved unless, again, they were speaking to you. Well, let's think about this. Do you understand how detrimental that is for you as an adult today, particularly if you never had an adult to reverse this trend? So if you've never been trained on how to be able to feel comfortable in speaking up in a room. So oftentimes we talk about having a seat at the table, but once we get to the table, we don't really have anything to say. Now, if you're like me, I am an observer first, and I will sit back and I will observe the entire space. And then when it's appropriate, if there's something that I feel like I have comments on, at that point, I will interject and involve myself. Or if there are questions that I feel need to be asked, then I would definitely ask that. But I don't want you to think that, if you don't say anything, or if you're like me, just an observer, at least initially, that you're not engaged. Because again, I like to have a feel for the room before I engage in conversation. So, but once I do that, then it's on. And it's the time where you are heard. So you're sitting at the table, you have a seat at this table, and you have a responsibility. And that responsibility is to be part of the dialogue, is to ask the appropriate questions. And again, one way to be a part of the conversation is to ask questions. No question is silly or stupid. I hate when people, have been told that their questions are stupid. No, it's a way for you to get information. So it's a way for you to gain insight. So you ask the question. I've always told people, if you want to know something, ask the question. Don't assume, just ask the question, and then you'll get what you need. So again, I'm sure this whole practice of teaching our children to be seen but not heard was carried down from generation to generation. So I don't blame my elders or the elders before them, but I do believe that we have a responsibility to reverse this trend. And I'm not suggesting that children become disrespectful and be out of order in any way, but I am suggesting that we teach them when and how to be heard. We teach them that it's appropriate, or when it's appropriate for them to ask questions, or when it's appropriate for them to engage in conversation. I believe this will help them in the long run. And it may be one of those things that will affect them later on, where they won't necessarily have to purchase the self-help book on how to speak at the table. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that in there. So what do you think about that? Is this something that you were taught? Were you taught to be seen, not heard? If so, let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Again, this is something that, when the moderator mentioned it, I thought, oh my God, yes, oftentimes we are so at the table. We always talk about not having a seat at the table, but then once we get the seat, we don't use the seat. And what good is having the seat if you're not using it? So I just want to encourage you today that if you are sitting at the table, at any table, please, please use your voice. Be seen, be heard at that table. If you found value in this video, like the video, comment on the video, share the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and become a part of our community. I would love, love, love to have you as part of our community. Again, I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key, providing you with information, tips, and strategies on how to become a certified marketable medical coder. Reminding you to be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Until next time,